Welcome back to Retail Therapy. My name's Will DeFries. My loyal co-host, Barrett Dudley. How we doing today?
Oh boy, here we go. Here it is. Summer 2-4. 0 to 60 real quick. Ins and outs today. Feeling great.
These are the trademark episodes that people just wait for.
Honestly, it's a lot of pressure.
It's become a lot of pressure.
It's a little bit too much pressure.
There's a lot of pressure for a lot of different reasons. Like, there's the pressure of coming up with a list that I can actually stand behind and say I feel good about this.
Yeah.
But then the bigger pressure that looms is having something on the list that if someone doesn't listen to the episode, you open yourself up to a lot of criticism without context.
That's right. You definitely need the context of listening to the podcast, but that's also part of I think that's part of the fun, right?
Yeah.
It's just stating it on the list and then letting people react. Honestly,
I didn't have this fear when I put oysters and martinis as being out during the first one we ever did. Yeah. And I think with context, I had an okay argument. But that's where I really started to get scared after, because I got I was at, backyard barbecues getting roasted by friends.
Right. They weren't having it.
Someone ordered oysters at a restaurant one time and they looked at me and they said, "Is that okay with you, Will?" And I said, okay. I didn't say I'm not eating oysters. I'm just saying. This go around, I almost didn't do any outs. No, you have to have a little hate in you.
And then I said, no, you know what? The listeners, they won't be satisfied by that.
No.
That's a cop out. No. I have to have outs.
Well, I saw your car pull into the studio today, and then I got a notification like 5 minutes later that said that you had edited your note that is shared with me that has your in-out list on it.
See, I didn't even know that these were that this is still shared. I thought I had a solo one now.
I have not looked at your note. I did not look at it. I have not looked at it yet.
It is shared.
But I was like, I like that he's in the car still grinding, just trying to figure out what to do.
I'm just noting and driving out there. You know, that's what I'm gonna be doing. You know, if I hit that red light and I say, I got something. I got something to add.
No, officer. I was updating my note of ins and outs. I was not texting.
I do need to be better about curating this over the months in between these.
You don't.
Instead of giving myself 2 weeks and then waiting for 3 days out and then waiting to like put together outs like 4 hours before the podcast, Barrett, because that's an issue.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah. I get it, but you're absolutely incorrect here, because I do this, and by the time I get to the time of the in and out episode, I look at my list and I say, all this shit's out already. Okay. Like, none of this shit's cool now.
Yeah.
Like, this was cool a month ago, but if this no longer has the juice of the recency bias that I put in. Mm-hmm. So I know it has to be spur of the moment, or else you're gonna sour on this stuff.
Okay, all right.
Or maybe that's how I should start curating my out list. Is I start right away putting things on the in list, and then by the time our next episode comes up,
to out. Yeah.
I had pregnancy as one of my ins this year, and I took it out because I think it's popular. You know, I think people are loving the pregnant women out here, and I think Hailey Bieber is leading the charge this summer of Pregnant Girl Summer.
But you also didn't want to give your wife the wrong idea.
In and out episode. Yeah, I could use a summer without a pregnant wife in my life. It's a lot more fun to spend the summer, spritzing it up. Than it is, just dealing with pregnant heat, which I assume is terrible for her.
Can't be fun. Can't be the most fun thing.
No. I'm not jealous of any pregnant women. I stan you. I'm dragging.
What do we got? You got any housekeeping? Housekeeping?
We got a lot of housekeeping. Listener digests are officially going out from retailpod.substack.com. Please go subscribe to that if you're a subscriber of this podcast. We'll be doing everything from there at this point. I will say the most boring listener digests that we have are the in-out episodes, because I don't want to elaborate on anything. I want it all to be in the episode live. And so, but go subscribe there, retailpod.substack.com. All episodes are available on YouTube. If you go to the description of the episode, you got a link right there to it. And as always, you can find us at retail.pod on Instagram. Again, retail.pod. I did a little stitch the other day with a pickle spritz video. Would you drink a pickle spritz after seeing this?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think I would.
Yeah.
I think I would. They didn't do anything to the drink that was inappropriate.
Okay.
They just used an ingredient that's not commonly used in spritzes, which is pickle juice.
Yeah.
But as far as I was concerned, they didn't do anything that was egregious in the actual video.
Okay.
So I think I might try one at some point when my next Grillo's container gets emptied out.
All right.
Scented candles are also back in stock. We are in the lab cooking on a new candle, but right now, if you go to velabox.com/sundayscaries, you can find we got some long weekend candles in stock right now that have 2 wicks. We doubled the wicks on it.
Wow.
Burning one in the studio right now, and I have to say it burns very evenly. The wicks do not take on more than they need to, which means that trimming is at a minimum, which is a beautiful thing. And also, long weekends just one of my favorite summer scents, so go check it out. Again, velabox.com/sundayscaries. Do you want to hear from our friends over at Shopify?
Of course. Always.
Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Barrett and I will be releasing something soon, and we will be selling it to you through Shopify. That's how much we stand behind this. It's so easy to use Shopify just for so many different reasons. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real life store stage, all the way to the did we just get a million order stage, Shopify's there to help you. So whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, maybe even some just really nice, tasteful hats, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And when you really think about that, that's very important. If you could be told that 36% more people would check out because of just the ease of use versus whatever platform you're using now, that's a lot of money that you'd be leaving on the table. 36%. I love Shopify. It's easy to use. It's easy to set up. It's easy to ship orders. It's easy to communicate about orders. It's just easy to manage everything. From their plugins to their templates to everything. It's just a really, really simple site to get your product from point A to point B in the fastest way possible. Sign up for their $1 per month trial at shopify.com/scaries, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/scaries now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Again, shopify.com/scaries. It's time.
Well, I wanted to start. I think that we should just do a little upfront about what our in and out lists mean to us. For any new listeners out there. I don't know if we have any new listeners or not. But assuming that we've got one or two, how are you coming up? What do the ins and outs mean for you?
To me, something that is in is something that I'm seeing more of.
Okay.
Most of the time. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm seeing this a lot of places. People are enjoying this. I'm seeing this pop up. Or I see something where I'm like, oh, I have not seen this popping up lately. I could see this taking off a little bit.
Okay.
I would say it's trend forecasting in the lightest way possible. The outs, they're much more personal for me. These are things that I'm like actively like, no, please stop. We're not doing this.
So that's what I was going to ask is how personal are you getting with the ins and outs? And it sounds like for you, the outs are far more personal than the ins. The ins are far more generalized trend forecasting.
Yes. The ins for me are not personal hardly at all.
Okay.
Maybe in certain cases they could trend that way, but it's much less personal than the outs. The outs for me are things where, for me, things that are out might not even be out. They might be things that I'm just like, hey, this vibe no longer matches what's happening. Yeah. So just know that if you're going to keep doing this, the vibe isn't going to be there and you might face criticism. So just be aware of the criticism that you might confront.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. All right. I just wanted to clear that up because I do think that this is not, sometimes these go full one direction or the other, where one, this is like, we're just doing a trend forecast, like very, like this is, data, but make it fashion style.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, my ins are, I think mine go very, very close to the way that you just described, where my ins are a little bit more general, a little bit more of that type of forecast, but also there's some stuff that's definitely personal. And I think, it all depends on the algorithm too, like what's getting put in front of you. What are you noticing? And so that can skew the ins as well. Outs very much, definitely more personal, I would say, because that's a very subjective thing, the things that we don't like, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like things that are grinding our gears, things that we're just like cringing at all the
Sick
time.
of.
Yeah. So that's I just wanted a little bit of a precursor for anybody that's new to the in and out list.
Yeah. I can tell we're playing scared today. We're doing a lot of qualifiers. We're making sure, hey, we're not coming to you. Is there anything you want to start with? We have one very common thread.
We do.
I'm happy about this
Should
one.
we just jump into it?
Yeah.
WNBA?
Dude, the WNBA is I'm all in, dude. I know more WNBA players than I know NBA players at this point.
Yeah, you have WNBA on your end list. I have slightly more specifically WNBA tunnel fits.
But
on
me,
my
it all
list.
starts with the tunnel fits. Like, if you want me to get in on the NBA, I need I refollowed league fits,
yeah,
because the WNBA tunnel fits were so entertaining.
Okay, so and I like it's been wild to watch because, of course, if you pop into the comments on all these WNBA tunnel fits, you will see your generic online incel misogyny happening.
You couldn't pay me to go in the comments of league fits
all throughout. And yet, I mean, it's like fuck those dudes. I love them highlighting the women getting the fits off in the tunnel.
Yeah,
this is so like I needed this.
Yeah.
It's
great.
This is doing something for me to see like the other like we got all the men's fits. Let's see the women's too. You know, I've really enjoyed it, and frankly, they're crushing it.
They are. Like it's every single game there's something entertaining, and it's great.
And there's there's obviously been like this very dynamic rookie class entering the WNBA. So those are the people that I'm like specifically Cameron Brink and Nika Mule are just going off. But I mean, Kelsey Plum getting after it post divorce from Darren Waller. Like there's some vets out there putting it down as well. But
I mean, Caitlin Clark was even rocking an outfit the other day that I thought was kind of great. It was more of a vacay fit, but someone said she looked like a roll of pennies, and I was like, you know what? That still doesn't stop me from liking this outfit.
But yeah, and then I'm there's a WNBA game on. You know, when I'm like cooking or something, I'm tossing that thing on. Like, let me see somebody get body checked, you know?
I think women's sports in general are having a nice little period right now.
I think so too.
Because I mean, women's golf has really been more entertaining to me, and just more in the spotlight, I guess. But like I will say that whatever the WNBA said before this season, when they were like, all right, we're doing the tunnel stuff now. It's panned out really well, and it really has created a level of engagement that the WNBA never had before. That is, it's picked the interest, and like this happened with NBA and stuff. I always liked league fits from the perspective of seeing what these guys were wearing, because it's just interesting to see what brands they wear. Like, it's like, oh, like I love that he's wearing this. It adds a culture aspect to it that needs to happen. It adds an individuality aspect to it that needs to happen. And like the fact that the WNBA wasn't doing this, it's just the smartest thing they've done.
Yeah. And I mean, well, I don't know if it was the WNBA not doing it or just it not getting any coverage.
But well, were they was it a thing before? Like
because you've had people like Sue Bird, right? Like, you know, just absolutely going crazy with the
shouts to the rookie class
with
then
the outfits,
for owning it.
The eye, there have never been more eyes on it. This rookie class obviously has a ton of star power, but it's opening the door for for the whole league. And now, I mean, I guarantee you there will be more WNBA stars that come out of this that have been in the league for a few years because of these rookies opening the door to just way more eyes. But yeah, I agree with you on the women's sport front too. Maybe it's just like a nice little moment right now, but French Open happening, women's tennis always, I feel like is right there with men's tennis.
The U.S. Women's Open golf was that was one of the more engaging tournaments I've seen in a long time.
And then I had a personal connection to it, obviously, but like last night, like I didn't even. I mean, the Mavs were getting blown out, so it was easy to not watch, but I was watching the Women's Softball World Series.
Your boy, man. I wasn't watching last night, but I've been watching. I've been watching. Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, WNBA major shouts. I'm glad you had that on there.
Okay.
Should we dive into some cocktails? Just get that out of the way.
Yeah, let's go drinkies.
The number one thing that I had for the inn is spritz and Negroni variations.
Yeah.
Like
you're not wrong.
Aperol spritzes are still being ordered, but I feel like everyone's trying to take it to the next step and go with, your Hugo spritzes, your Campari. This isn't something that we haven't talked about before. But when it comes to the Negroni, I've realized now that everyone's trying to shoehorn in the Negroni stuff. I've seen everything from the Mezcal Negroni, the white Negroni, which we were loving last year at this time. But like when it comes to trying to search for a drink of the summer. I feel like people are abandoning going with a standalone drink, and now everyone's just going either the spritz or the modified classic cocktail route.
Okay.
And I think this summer we're not going to emerge with some crazy cocktail that's out of left field.
Right.
I think we're going to end up doing some variation of a spritz, probably a Hugo again.
I'm ready to crown Hugo already, I think.
People were crowning it for last year. I don't know if I was ready to do that at the end of last summer based on what I saw, but being June right now, I think we're at a perfect time to start ramping those up.
Yeah.
They've been being made around our place a lot. Not for me, but Sally's been doing spritzes.
Okay.
More than she has in previous summers.
I need to go. I need to swim. I need to go pick up a bottle of Saint Germain. Is what needs to happen. You know, God forbid they start experiencing a chartreuse like shortage.
I don't think they will. I think they're powered. I think they're powered by a bigger entity.
Giant, alcohol distributor.
Shout out to the monks though.
Yeah. Big shouts to the monks.
Old gatekeeping asses.
Yeah. The cocktail that I have on my in list is a pina colada.
Yes.
And Randy, don't get too excited. I'm not. That doesn't mean I'm lumping in all fruity and colorful cocktails here. But the pina colada, the frozen pina colada, it's absolute fire. And there is no better resort drink than a frozen pina colada.
I was recently in Las Vegas. We were doing pool drinks. We did a club day, and then the next pool day we did a calm, enjoy yourselves, whatever. One pina colada got ordered. Suddenly, everyone is ordering pina coladas.
I mean, they're just they are a sweet, delicious treat that goes down so easy. You don't need more than a couple, but it's such a good way to enjoy some sunshine and some water and yeah, this is a drink specifically that you're not going to make at home. I don't know if you've ever looked up the recipe for a frozen pina colada. It's not easy.
I just have never had that much success with doing it at home.
Unless you buy like a mix, like a pina colada mix, which is not going to get you the desired results. But if you're going from scratch, you need like cream of coconut, you need chunks of pineapple, you need there's just like a bunch of stuff that you need. It's not nearly as easy as like a frozen margarita.
I think it would be more simple to do like a painkiller at home than it would be a pina colada. And if you're trying to achieve that and do it really, really, really well.
Yeah. Randy was shaking his head. You making pina coladas at home, Randy?
He loves pina coladas.
Oh yeah. The thing is, I don't make them with cream of coconut because who has that? Like they only come in cans, so it's whatever. I just do vanilla ice cream and coconut rum. It's not the traditional pina colada, but it tastes exactly the same.
You're making dessert over there.
I respect
Randy.
it. Yeah, no, I mean cream to coconut, like that's just right in the normal aisles.
Yeah, you can find it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But it's not laying around when you're like, you know what sounds good right now? Pina colada.
Right. Yeah.
But put it on your grocery list right now, so you have one single can of creme de coconut.
But I enjoyed a pina colada. Shit, where was I recently? It's slipping my mind right now. But one of our spot at Ski Shores here in Austin, and sister restaurant of Ski Shores, Lou's, had this on the menu last year. I actually looked up I wanted to make sure they still had them because I was thinking about going to Lou's sometime soon. Not on the menu right now.
Okay.
Very, very disappointing to see.
Okay.
If just for a little niche local Austin talk. But
are people going to be posting
But I'm looking out for places with frozen pina coladas because I will order one if you have it.
Are people going to be posting, hollowed out pineapples with pina coladas in them, or is that too aggressive for just like a casual afternoon drink?
I mean, let's get kitsch with it, let's do it. Let's see those pinas.
Barrett, talk to me after. I'll get you a list.
Okay.
Do I have anything? The other thing I had for cocktail related was just white wine.
Yeah.
Like even at restaurants, I feel like the general, I mean, I know it's summer, so people transition out of red wine anyway, but all spring when it wasn't hot, I felt as though people were not quickly jumping on getting a bottle of red wine.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's just kind of worn thin on people.
I've mentioned this book on the pod before, but Cork Dork is a really interesting read. If you're interested,
I want to read it.
If you're interested in wine, I actually didn't read it. I just got all the full download from Laura.
That's what I do.
But like, I don't know. There's something about like the homogenous, I don't know what the noun is for that. The homogenous trait of red wine, where like they all start to taste the same to me.
Well, like I don't have a wine palate,
unless
so like
you order a really nice bottle.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's way easier to get like the middle of the road white wine is much better and more palatable than the middle of the road red wine.
Yeah. And I'm including still rosé in this.
Yeah.
But like, yes, I and it's just kind of like a little crisper, a little nicer. It's not going to drag you down as quickly as a glass of red, or at least not make you mentally feel like it. But I feel like, and maybe the natural wine thing has like skin contact, like all those things. Maybe all those things have led people away from like the traditional Napa cabs that we were slamming at group dinners for so long.
Right.
And I just think that white wine is going to stay more present than it has in the past, because I just feel like at least the people I'm hanging out with are not jumping all over the red.
Does it also feel slightly connected to like just the general push for lower ABV and or more moderate drinking?
Yeah.
I know it's only like typically like your white wine is like 12.5% and your typical red wine is 14 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a huge difference, but I do feel like it is like the connotation is still there.
Yeah.
Like red wine's a little sloppier, a little bit of a,
for sure,
longer dinner. White wine is like, I could have a couple glasses at lunch and be totally fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that plays in as well.
Yeah, I think it probably does. It feels a little more playful and a little less like headache the next day kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go to fashion or food? Will?
I don't care.
Yeah.
We can go, let's do fashion since we just did cocktail. We just did bar talk.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay, let's see.
Let's go with the connection with a little bit of the connection here, because on your in list you have rubber shoes.
Yes.
And I have two. I've got a few fashion ones, but two that I threw on here are very general, like overall vibes that I'm seeing for like women's and for men. So I'm going to start with my women's because I feel like it connects to rubber shoes, and I just have this as one line. It's skirts and ballet flats.
Yeah.
But within the ballet flats, I am including
the jelly shoes.
The ones from the row, the plasticanas that are big right now, which I'm sure you're also thinking of when with the rubber shoes, the mesh flat, and then the ballet flat. Like I just think that all goes together, and it's actually going to tie a little bit into my men's version of this too. But what specifically were you thinking of with rubber shoes?
I was thinking the whole gamut. It started with all the shoes you just listed, all the women's shoes. It dips into the gardening clogs.
Right.
Like gardening is still gardening is still giving inspiration to the fashion industry in a way.
Yeah.
Like everyone that has seen that I have the Aimé Leon Dore gardening shoes, every single person is like, oh, how are they?
Yeah.
Do you like them? Oh, and the people that have them are like, dude, I love them. I wear them around the house all the time. Just things like that. And like, ever since buying them, if I'm walking around the house, if I'm doing stuff, I love wearing them. Like there's something about it. I've never been a Croc person. The closest I've ever been to being a Croc person was I've never said his name out loud, but like the Soleil Bembury.
Yeah.
Like when he was doing those, that was the first time where I was like, okay, I could see myself eventually getting here. And while I don't have any Crocs now, but like just it's just the 90s, rubber shoe trend for women all over again.
Yeah.
And I feel like guys are just kind of getting more into the clog game and more into that kind of thing.
You think
they're dabbling?
You think come fall we're gonna have wood shoes on our list?
We're gonna be clonking around, yeah.
Post Dr. Scholl's shoe of the summer, and then we're just gonna full on go to like Danish.
Yeah, Dutch boy fall.
Danish Dutch boy wood clog.
I could do that. My last name fits the bill.
Yeah.
I could do a little.
We could tie it into a little bit of gnome core too, I feel like.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Just a little wooden clog action.
When are the rows wooden clogs dropping?
Soon.
Someone will drop wooden clogs. Randy, mark this down. 24-minute mark. Somebody will drop an absurd pair of wood clogs this fall.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do you have on? And do you have anything other fashion on your ends? You might not.
The closest thing I have to the other the closest thing I have is tennis. Because I don't think the sport itself, like I do think the sport itself has gained popularity. I hear more people taking tennis lessons and getting into it, but I think that's because of the greater move to tennis overall.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the French Open being right here. Maybe it's my excitement for Wimbledon, challengers. Everything. Like I just feel like there's tennis skirts have been in since last summer. I don't think those are going away anytime soon.
Challengers took what seemed like some simmering, goings-ons and really like took it to the moon, I feel like, and I think will be pretty heavily referenced for the next year.
It's also just like a cutesy summer sport
Yeah,
that anyone
yeah.
can pick up and play. And
you-
it's very low maintenance.
I almost feel like saying tennis also just means pickleball too.
Yeah.
In a way.
Racket sports.
Racket sports.
Yeah. But like, I mean, like bougie tennis courts will never be off of mood boards.
Right.
Yeah. But like, I mean, we've got Cameron Brink wearing a tennis skirt on League Fits. Like, I mean, that's not, that could be her choosing it, but like, that's probably a stylist choosing it. They know the moment.
Yeah.
I like that tennis is in though. I've always liked, growing up playing tennis and playing it in high school. I wish I played more now, and maybe this is the push I need.
So for your tennis on my in list, I have running.
I think they're very close.
Which I feel like, that skews it, running. Running is definitely having a kind of golf-esque moment where there's tons and tons of like little pop-up brands and cool fashiony things happening there.
Mhm.
But I also just think running as a hobby is making a big push again. I expect to see like this has kind of happened with cycling over the years. Like suddenly you'll just have like 5 friends that are suddenly like riding 150 miles on a road bike on the weekend.
Like what are you doing?
And I kind of am seeing this happening with I feel like this might happening with running a little bit.
Yeah.
It's got the look, it's got the fashion. It's easy for content.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff you can do with running content. I'm seeing it all
There's
over.
a lot of
my
run clubs
feed
in Austin
right now.
if you want to join.
Run clubs are huge.
And I think the run clubs are just as popular in places like New York and Chicago.
You got to think they're more popular in places where you like. I mean, like, you got to get up at 6 a.m. for a run club here right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that Randy's over here smirking again. Chime in, Randy.
Maybe go to Mattel Ranchos.
Yeah. Don't think this wasn't influenced by Mattel Ranchos. We're gonna talk about that.
Well, like, I don't know why, and I don't run. I went through a running phase in my 20s. I told the story of that before this podcast, and I'm not going to tell it now. But when I decided to get in shape again, I chose long distance running as my method. And I really enjoyed just shopping for running stuff. Like running shoes are a really fun thing to look at.
They are, yeah.
I got some running shoes from Huckberry and Merrill, and I've been loving wearing them around, partially because they look sporty as hell.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like I'm kind of bouncing around.
Like maybe you're about to hit the trail in a minute.
Yeah. Oh, did he hit the trail
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Like But
you've got the haircut now too of like a lot. You know, like
True.
I feel like that's like a hot runner's haircut
True.
right now.
Yeah. You got to get the mullet flowing in the wind.
Yeah.
It kind of has some drag to it, but.
But Randy, I am seeing more than just Sam Taylor giving running content. But if I
Mattel Ranchos,
if I told you that she didn't partially influence running making my end list, I would be lying to you.
I hate running.
Well,
I like the idea of running. I hate it in practice.
Well, maybe I can interest you in a variety of other hobbies, Will, because that's another thing that I have on my end list is just having a hobby.
Is it people having hobbies or is it people flexing their hobbies?
Well, how do people know that you have one if you're not flexing it?
It's facts.
We've talked a lot about this, whether it's and this is a really like. This is all so easy to lump in together, whether it's the tennis or the running or the pickleball or the run clubs or like whatever it is, like just like people are out there and they're having hobbies, and I think that's good. And I hope I hope a little bit of that is like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be on my phone for 7 hours a day. Like maybe I should put this phone down and try to do something else. So
yeah, I think COVID kind of like gave people a lot of hobbies that they never expected to have. I had friends baking bread who I don't think would ever go through that phase without having a significant amount of time at home. And I think I left COVID happy that I got in good shape, but I didn't leave COVID with any like tangible hobbies that I felt good about. And I feel like it's been forcing me to get into things that I normally wouldn't have gotten into because I'm like, no, I need to have these hobbies. I can't just sit around looking at my phone and complaining about it being election year on Twitter.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, you know, speaking of flexing the hobbies, being able to have a hobby is also kind of a luxury, right? Like, so it's a flex in and of itself that you have enough work-life balance, enough disposable income, enough free time. Like you just have like being able to dedicate time to a hobby is like something that's a nice thing to be able to do.
It's the hardest part of getting a hobby,
right?
Is finding the time to dedicate to it.
Yeah.
Like it's just hard. And I don't know. I flew directly into the sun with the vinyl stuff as a hobby. And I've simmered on it now. I still have been listening a lot, but in terms of like going to the stores and shopping with it, I've had to like scale it back for numerous reasons, from time to finances to space. Like it's a dangerous hobby. But I'm glad that I've developed it, because I think I've learned a lot about things. I've added something to my I don't know what you would say. Like I've acquired physical things that I can have for a very long time, that I can get use out of,
Yeah.
and that I enjoy. But now I'm kind of like, all right, I'm kind of antsy. I need something else. Like I've simmered on that, and I've established my interest level, but now I need to figure something else out.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
What else you got, Will?
I did have on here, in the same fashion thing, just illustrated shirts. I mean, it's the ALD shirt conversation we talked about last week, but I mean, like, I just think that I think that's going to like just cause a bunch of copycats.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
I like the idea of illustrated stuff. I like the designs that you see on like the Drake's ALD collaborations, things like that. Like those kind of digital creations are cool to me.
Yeah, less text-based, less typeface, less. Yeah.
It's cool. I like it. I mean, I don't think it's going to stick around forever, but like I do think that shirt is going to cause a million copycats once it actually goes on sale and sells out, and everyone needs to go pivot and do something else.
The Drake's one?
Yeah.
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 The oyster one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or no, the ALD Picasso. Like once that actually goes on sale, I think, people can't get it.
I see what you're saying.
I think that's when we're going to see a bunch of people wearing very similar shirts out all the time, because it's like I think the people that want that.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's the what's I'm pretty sure I got served this guy because you were already following him. That seems to happen a lot with between the two of us. But Michael McGregor on Instagram.
Remind me.
I'll pull him up real quick. But he is not doing any merch, and he seems to almost never release any prints, and it's making me more desperate than ever to get something from him.
Yeah,
because he won't do it.
Yeah.
So that just a little plug for
there are a few things
a follow that you might enjoy, listeners, because this is that illustrated vibe that is like, I don't know, just scratching an itch right now. I'm pulling
it. He did it
for our YouTubers. I'm pulling it up right now.
He got written up by, I think, the New York Times for his art series that he did on stationery from legendary hotels.
Okay.
It might have just been Chateau Marmont that they did.
Yeah,
he did. But
I looked at some of that.
He does it on other things, and I think it's one of the best ideas. Like I think it's one of the smartest art ideas is to do these things on the stationery from nice hotels.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you know that he had to go there, you know that he or ordered on eBay, whatever. But like I just think it's a really smart idea, and I'm jealous that I've never done anything like this, because I wish that I would have done something like that first and not been swagger jacking Michael McGregor.
Yeah, but it's a vibe.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. What else do I have on here? You want to talk food?
I don't have any food, so let's talk.
I have
let's talk
food item.
Yeah,
Peking duck. I think it's going to fit a nice little niche. A lot of people are ordering steaks these days, like at nice restaurants, and like getting it cut up and splitting it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like that communal thing. I like having my own entree, but that's another discussion for another time.
Sure.
But like, I feel like the steakhouse thing is going to simmer down a little bit. I feel like steakhouses kind of got popular with the whole, dark luxe sexiness vibe, and people were kind of doing that kind of thing a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's been a lot of kind of more bougie Chinese restaurants opening a lot lately. And Peking duck is a very baller way to have a nice meal.
Yeah.
And we've seen it in Austin. It was like the top menu item at one of the best restaurants we ate at the Fountain Blue in Vegas when we were there. And like the tableside presentation of it, just the look of it on the table, the taste of it, everything was so good. I could see this being a lot more popular for group dinners than it has been in the past, which is, I feel like now it's just like dudes in suits who go to like the Peking duck restaurant and go eat it in Austin, because it's just like, it hasn't been popular here. But I feel like it's more popular now, and maybe, hopefully, people will go to the restaurants that have been doing it, and not just the new trendy chain restaurants, and they'll go to the ones that are doing it and have been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, there's a couple good ones in Austin, like true, like more authentic places to get Peking duck. Somebody asked a pronunciation question. I think I saw this in a DM or something. I think I was saying Peking duck, but I think you're pronouncing.
I mean, I
it
said
correct.
Peking duck for like 20 years.
I think it's Peking duck.
I think it
that's-
is Peking duck.
Yeah, like you're peeking into a window.
I'll be honest. Everyone looked at me to order it when we were at the dinner because
Uh-huh.
the waiter was talking to me like, "Are you guys ready to order?"
Yeah.
And we were going to do it all at once. And everyone looked at me, and I was going to order it, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot how to say this."
It wasn't a red form, was it?
No,
Yeah.
no. This was at it's the name of it's escaping me. I need to come up with the name of it.
But yeah, we did this at for right around Christmas. You and I at the Red Farm
Yeah.
location here in Austin,
And it was great.
And it is a really nice communal full table. Everybody's diving in. It's kind of like making tacos. It's kind of like getting fajitas. in a way.
Exactly.
So it's it's great. It's fun. I do not have any
Komodo.
Komodo.
Komodo is the name of the restaurant at Fontainebleau. It was honestly unbelievable. But unfortunately for me, it was the meal that I described to you, Barrett, which was the one where I was so anxious about going to a major public event
Mhm.
that I couldn't eat. I like couldn't eat very much. The I believe it was the fig sauce or what was it? It was so good on the Peking duck. Like I wish I could go back and get our leftovers because we left a
Yeah.
lot on the table.
That's too bad.
That's all I got for food, though.
Okay. Let me jump over to one. How about plastic surgery? This is on my ends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just there have been articles written about this, so I'm not breaking news here, but having plastic surgery, getting some type of procedures, and I'm just kind of including everything in this. So from the easy peasy Botox or fillers or whatever, all the way up to like getting your eyelids done. Like nothing is off the table. It is not taboo anymore. If you don't like something about yourself, baby, take out that loan and get $10,000 worth of plastic surgery. That seems to be what is happening.
And
right
it's like it's celebrated for the first time. I feel like it's
Almo-
like
yeah, yeah.
what is the eyelid surgery?
So this is one that I literally became familiar with last night.
Okay.
But it's called like a blepharoplasty.
Okay.
Blepharoplasty.
Okay, I was
And
on.
And it basically like and this is, I think more women do this than men because so it's basically like there's something called hooded eyes, and I kind of have them. So it's where your eyelids kind of like hang over your eyes a little bit.
Okay.
And it's basically removing the extra skin above your eyelids so that they don't do that.
Okay.
It's like opening up your eyes a little bit more.
Okay. I could probably use that. I was on my Discover feed the other day, and I clicked on.
It's called an upper bleph for short.
Okay.
If you want the lingo.
That's what I saw. I saw, and it was someone had posted a selfie, and it was a selfie taken from below their face, and the most upvoted comment was, "Look at you with upper bleph. Like, look at you taking lower selfies after your upper bleph." And the person commented back like, "You know it," like, and I was just like, okay, so like we're not even tiptoeing around that we're doing this, like,
Yeah.
and I'm fine with that. Like, I would rather someone own up to getting the surgery and being like, "No, I made what I consider to be an improvement on myself, and I'm proud of that now," rather than having your tail between your legs doing it. Granted, like, I mean, some people might still not care that you're happy about it, but like, you're always opening yourself up to criticism when you get cosmetic surgery because you're changing something that's very like in front of people's face. I mean, it's very front facing.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I'm fine with it. I wish I had the money to get more like Botox like all the time. That'd be sick. I would love to look younger.
Yeah. Yeah. That, and I mean, a lot of this boils down to flex, right? And I think that's part of why it's become so much less taboo, because acknowledging and admitting that you did this is also saying that you had enough money to do all of this work.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's also important to remember, not just from an in and out perspective, but I think it's helpful to just know that the people out there looking like the top influencers, the people that look so fabulous on Instagram, all like, they were not born like that.
Yeah.
Everybody has had work done. If you look amazing on Instagram, you have had work done.
Do you look
that's just that I am generalizing. I am saying like that is like 90%.
I am making blanket statements.
I am making blanket statements, but I truly believe that it is like 90% of people that look great on Instagram at the very least are having Botox done.
I think that's fair. That's fair.
And that's probably getting into fillers now too. Because let's be real,
I don't know the difference.
If you don't have lip fillers right now, like we're conditioned to not think that you look amazing on Instagram. Like you need it.
For some reason on Twitter, I get served some account that does before and afters of celebrities and stuff, and like you would never even know at this point. You just never know.
Kat Sadler's out there talking about like she's doing whole content series on her facelift.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper and Brad Pitt have both had. Do
you think they're doing the content because they want people to know, or are they doing the content because they're getting it for free?
No, I think it's
it's a flex.
And then here's another piece that ties into it is I think that like you're kind of creating content out of it is like looking for validation and like you're kind of justifying it as well.
Well, it's a lot easier to confront something when you've already put it out yourself.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm sure this is probably some keynote speaker bullshit that has been said a million times, but like if there's statistics about how your body reacts to just saying in a nervous situation, I'm nervous right now. And like the positive effects of just outright saying that and just having people know that this is what it is, like automatically makes you less anxious and less nervous.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing when it comes to like confronting a plastic surgery. Like, yes, I had my eyelids done. I look fabulous right now. You're jealous, even though you're judging me for getting my eyelids done.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like
totally.
Yeah. Like it's a thing. I have an Instagram driven one on here.
All right.
Just still and serene videos. With the photo dumps happening right now, people are looking for all the different variation ways to mix up their photo dumps. And you can only put so many memes in before people are like, all right, are you a meme account now? And like a few years ago, Randy approached me and was like, hey, I heard about these things called digital rest stops. And I was like, okay, what's that? Randy explained to me that these were things that people were doing where it was just like chill videos. Like, hey, stop scrolling for a few minutes. I started doing it on Scaries.
Yeah.
After he said it to me, and the videos did really well, but now I just find myself following people that do these videos. I really should have done more research before doing this segment because there's a guy who I featured on Scaries once, and I don't feature him now because he does such a good job like with his stuff that like he clearly has a professional camera setup. Like I don't want to repost his videos without having a conversation with him first. But all his videos are just these still videos, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is the content that I'm craving. But like, I think it's the ultimate flex to go on vacation and take a 20-second video of no one speaking in the background in a beautiful area. It's kind of better than taking a photo of the water.
There was one of these that I saw recently. You probably had it sent to you a bunch of times. That's just like it's kind of like a dog is in a hammock in the midground. And then behind it is just like this beautiful ocean scene.
Oh yeah,
and it's just like the hammock's just kind of like swinging, and like this dog is just like hanging in this hammock. 20 seconds long.
You watch it.
Yeah,
you watch it. Like it's just I think those videos are going to get more and more popular and more present on the feed, and I'm all for it because I love the digital rest stop life. Thank you, Randy, for pioneering it early on.
You're welcome.
I have two that go together for my final ins.
Okay, and I've got two fashion ones that I can pair together.
My 9th in is relatively innocent stimulants, and my 10th is acting kind of douchey. And I think these two go hand in hand.
It is relatively innocent stimulants. Is that could we boil that down to an acronym for ZYN?
It could be anything from Zen to Celsius to factory made stimulants.
Just getting hopped up on
yeah,
shit?
Just getting a head change in the most convenient store way possible. I just think that it's celebrated, it's joked about, it's always a thing. The nicotine products have taken off at such a level that like it's the most online thing right now. 2 years ago or 3 years ago, it was like White Claw.
Yeah.
And the seltzer, like that was,
sure.
It's that same feeling now, but with nicotine and caffeine. That's how I feel about that. And I think being kind of douchey feeds into this because I think this stuff is very white boy summer.
Yeah.
I wrote a column for Wash Weekly over a month ago before Chet Hanks declared it was white boy summer. That I had fears that white boy summer was upon us.
Okay.
Election year, we got the orange man back in the mix. He's definitely pro white boy summer.
Right.
And I just think that with Zyn and Celsius being popular, like white boy summer was always going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, my whole Twitter feed is just finance bros celebrating right now, just being happy. And I think acting kind of douchey
Yeah.
and tossing a Zin in. I just don't think it's going away this summer.
Well, they're living their best lives after the I'm looking for a guy in finance.
This
right?
is yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, this is going to be the most insufferable East Coast summer since COVID, for sure. Like if you're in Nantucket,
The
Martha's Vineyard, wherever you
Hamptons,
are,
yeah,
it's going to be the most white boy summer we've seen since COVID, including the original white boy summer.
Do you feel like how much FOMO do you have that we were not like in our heyday of like getting to go try to do the Hamptons for like a weekend, even at this in the slummiest way possible? But like we basically missed that. We missed the boat.
I am spoiled in
On a
that,
Hamptons
like
weekend.
where I grew up during the summer, just kind of feels like that's where you are.
Okay.
And so I never had the need to live in a city where I would have to go drive a couple hours to go to it. You know what I mean? Like, so I think I'm very spoiled in that respect. Like Harbor Springs, Michigan is a very idyllic and kind of like,
Yeah, but you don't have the surf lodge.
no, but
Like there's no like insane party bar. Right?
no, but there's sandbars where people just park your boats and
Yeah.
suddenly you got, 200 people standing at a sandbar going wild.
Yeah.
It's a little more
So
redneck yacht club.
You've had your fill of the beachy party life, is what you're saying.
Yes. I would like to go out and do it, but like I also don't see myself ever flying from Texas to go to the East Coast for like a summer week or like a weekend or something. I'd have to go for like a week or 10 days to justify it. But again, like I'd rather just go see my parents in Harbor Springs.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm saying though, is that like I feel like if the Hamptons had been the Hamptons when we were in our mid-20s,
Yeah.
we would have hit up our boys and like a friend that was living in New York and
For
be
sure.
like, let's figure out how to jam 25 dudes into a summer house for a long
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
And spend all of our money on this.
Correct.
Yeah.
The vibes alone of like the Hamptons, Martha's Vineyard, and stuff like that are just great.
Yeah.
The backyard pools, like just like the very cottagey looking houses, things like that. It's just so stereotypically like summer that it is something I'd like to do at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so for women, my one-liner was skirts and ballet flats. This is for dudes, but honestly, kind of applies to women as well. It's just big bottoms, tiny shoes.
Okay.
And that ties into the shorts conversation we've had, where I know longer shorts are in. I think shorter shorts are still in as well. Either way, you want them kind of baggy. Obviously, bottoms are still voluminous. We're looking for the voluminous pants. The difference is, I feel like the shoes are getting tinier. We got the Stofa slippers. We've got the rubber clogs. Sambas are a slim profile. The Bodhi Astro Grabbers are very narrow. Very narrow. I told Dave that I felt like I was about to go punt a football with a leather helmet on in the 1960s wearing those things.
That's good. That's good.
That's what I'm seeing. It's just is big bottoms, tiny shoes for men.
I think I've maxed out on my voluminous trousers. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I can get more voluminous than I currently am.
What is also no longer trouser season for us.
Exactly. And so like I'm going to be wearing pretty dainty shoes all summer long. But like wearing those same shoes with my newly acquired voluminous trousers, which are truly not even that voluminous, it's jarring looking down and being like, oh, I got tiny little feet coming out.
Right. Yeah. You got to be a hoof boy, basically.
Yeah, it's weird.
And then the other thing that I have here for style, for fashion, this is specifically for men. I have spent the last 4 years, and I feel like a lot of us have, really focused on e-waist shorts, things with elastic waists. Generally, these come in alpha sizes: small, medium, large, extra large. I think I'm seeing a return of fixed waist shorts, numbered sizing, static waistband, no stretch. I think I think that not that e-waist is going anywhere. I think people are going to love the comfort of those and the ease of being able to buy an alpha size and just throw them on, especially for summer. But it's like this will tie into something that we talked a little bit on our spring and out. It's just like the idea of like dressing nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need to be able to throw a belt on.
Well, how am I supposed to let the end of my braided belt flop down if I have an e-waist short on?
That's exactly right.
Like how am I supposed to put out that vibe?
Yeah. So
yeah, I enjoy an e-waist short, but if I'm actually going somewhere that is like in front of people, I usually always go with a button short,
Okay.
like a fixed waist. Like I don't know why. There's something that does kind of kill me to wear a drawstring in public sometimes. Like it just feels sweatpantsy,
Uh-huh.
even though it shouldn't. Usually I try to tie it up a little bit so it gets covered by my shirt just so
Right,
people don't
right.
see it. And that's normal. But like, I just don't love having the drawstring out there. But yeah, I'm not getting rid of my E-Way shorts anytime soon. I'm still loving them. Still rocking them casually all the time.
Should we hate on some shit now?
Yeah, let's hate. There's not too much hate. We have 4 each. This is fine. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. The thing that and I'm it's about to be Boomer Barrett season, so sorry. Look, I feel like I by and large have ridden for the Gen Z slang words that have been tossed around and brought to my attention, and whether it's like cap or that's facts or what or all the slang, all the lingo that happens. Like I buy in, I participate. Probably use it after it's overstayed its welcome because I'm not a Gen Z. I'm not cool anymore. And that's that. There's one that I cannot get behind right now, and that is the use of the word valid.
Can you use that in the sentence, please?
It's like, oh, do you think the new ALD 1000s are valid? Are those valid?
I don't like that. This hasn't reached me yet.
Okay.
Are you working with Gen Zers?
No.
Okay.
Not really. But
Okay.
This is more something that I see online, Reddit, Instagram comments, TikTok, whatever it is. And it's too much of a bastardization of the word. And I know that we've done this forever. Sick, dope, bad. Like this is, but those are they're almost more subversive. They're like they're full flips of a word.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this just feels grammatically incorrect. Like you don't actually know what the word valid means.
Yeah, it's so close to what it could be that
Yes,
like
exactly.
it almost makes you sound dumb.
It makes thank you. That's exactly right. When I see this used as a slang, as in its current form as a slang word, that you've hit the nail on the head.
I can't
you
even
seem like an idiot.
I can't even think about the like are these valid? Like
Yeah.
I can't even think about
Like,
someone
do we-
saying that without
is-
someone saying it stupidly.
Yeah. Are ASICs still valid?
Dude, are these valid?
Yeah. That
It's just some stone dude be like, hey, are these still?
It's a number
cool?
one. It's a number one thing grinding my gears right now. The other one that I don't like, I don't love this, but I think I'll eventually come around on is: have you seen the big use of the word aura?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I've jokingly ruined that for some things.
Okay, I don't really like it for a similar reason. It feels like a misuse of the word to me. But
Okay.
but I'm willing to let that one grow on me.
There's something about aura that I think is entertaining.
Yeah.
It's a different way for a vibe for me,
Yeah,
and I think
yeah.
vibe needs something else mixed in.
You ready to you want to shift some auras?
Yeah, let's shift auras. I'm fine with that.
There's also a nerdy side of it too, that like people are sending each other aura and stuff, and like it's very fun. It's like become a game online too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so I did not include that one because I'm willing to let that one breathe and give myself time to come around on it. But
I like your decisions here.
Valid's got to go.
Well, I'm out on golf collabs. I'm sick of them.
Yeah.
I just think it's a little much right now. I know that the ALD golf stuff was not a collab, but like I feel like they were just trying to collab with the game of golf for the first time and just really try to have something happen there.
Yeah.
And they missed the mark on it. The most recent golf collab of note has been, like TaylorMade did stuff with Malbon and it was good. Malbon, New Balance has always been a good relationship. Kith just did a TaylorMade campaign with Jimmy Fallon.
Dropped today.
And I think I actually very much did like most of the stuff that was done by Kith for TaylorMade. I think TaylorMade's having a nice little run right now. They're making some cool style decisions. I think they kind of realized that they can use style and fashion and trends as a way to propel their brand above the other ones. And I think they're actually doing a really good job of it.
Which is really weird since they literally stopped making golf clothes like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Did they just stop? They just said like, no.
Like Jason Day was sponsored by TaylorMade.
And that's why he left?
And they were like, we're done making... maybe I'm misremembering.
But they're
something.
at least
go on.
From an equipment perspective, they're actually making things that are like cool and retro and yet functional. But the reason I'm out on golf collabs isn't because I dislike the actual collabs or I dislike the standalone pieces in them. I just don't think that golf is a good place to start with collabs when it comes to fashion brands. I don't think that the regular golfer, like the golfer that you actually want to capture, is not the golfer that's going to buy something from a collab. Like they're not going to be a repeat customer necessarily. The guys that play a lot of golf that aren't just going to be wearing this out, they're not going to wear this stuff to the golf course. Like no one's going to show up wearing a bunch of ALD or Kith and people be like, "Oh, that guy must be good." Like that doesn't have the aura of a good player. And I just think that like if you're deep into golf, you're never going to be the type of person that spends big money on a golf collab because you're spending big money on things that actually deserve the big money, which are not these like rain jackets and stuff like that.
So, okay. Rebuttal.
Okay.
Not necessarily on the overwhelming amount of golf collabs or the the validity of them.
Okay.
See, that's the proper use.
There you go.
But golf is becoming the hype beast sport du jour.
Yeah.
And I do and look how like the athletes, like they all play golf right now.
Yeah.
Like if when Steph Curry is not getting ready to play basketball, like he's playing golf.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Romo, he's playing golf. Like all the athletes are playing golf as well as their regular sport, and which feels like it's trickling down into like sneaker culture. And I'm seeing a lot of people gravitate towards golf as like speaking of hobbies, right? And I think that we will see more and more and more and more of this, like of the Bromakase type out there.
Yeah.
Looking for things that are not like the pro shop polos.
You're shifting my aura a little bit.
On the golf course. And that's, I mean, you looked at like I pulled up the TaylorMade stuff 30 minutes after it dropped, and every single accessory was gone. The ball markers, the head covers.
They should be.
The golf towels.
Those should be the things that should go first. That makes me happy to hear.
That stuff flew. And I get that. Like people want a little bit of that cachet.
I think that's how
to flex on their buddies.
That's how good golfers separate themselves. That's how they separate themselves. It's not with like the best looking top. It's not with that. It's like it's the little details that kind of show, oh no, I'm good. Or like I know the game. I know how to do this stuff. I do think what you just said has changed the way I'm thinking about this a little bit. Like there's the part of me now that's going down the wormhole of like, are these collabs too hype beast right now? And that's what I don't like about them. But I also have been on podcasts complaining about, generic golf guy fashion for so long that like I should be welcoming this because it even if it's like a little bit, it's still pushing things a little bit. Like, but I'm so sick of seeing dudes in Lululemon golf shirts and Lululemon golf shorts that like maybe I shouldn't be dunking on this kind of thing. But I just don't think that like there's like some, I don't know. I feel like these companies are going to be underwhelmed by the sales of what they're getting here, even if things are selling out. Yeah.
Well, and just to continue the discussion, like the accessories are all gone, but almost all of the clothing is still here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think that factors more into your point about like the golfer is not spending all of their money on the golf clothes because the golf is so expensive.
Yeah.
So it's not only is it's an easier pickup, but it's a cheaper pickup to grab the accessories as well.
But I also don't think none of my buddies who play golf, this has not like this collab or any collab that I've seen recently has not been in any group chat.
But we're coming from a way different bubble, and that's what I'm saying. I think that the new golf customer is like the guy that is the 25-year-old that has spent the last like 5 years like buying.
I want to talk to
sneakers.
I would like to talk to somebody who's like a retail therapy listener who's just getting into golf and say like, what are you gravitating toward? Because I actually don't know. Like I am an admitted old golf head. Like I don't remember learning how to play. My mom taught me at an early age. I played with her all the time. It just was what I did. And so I probably am a curmudgeon when it comes to this stuff. I just think that like I just don't think they're there yet. Like I think that Kith TaylorMade was actually better looking than a lot of collabs that I've seen from a like, oh, that's cool standpoint. Like I don't really have a good way of quantifying it.
Yeah.
But there's just something missing, and maybe it's just the genuine nature of these collabs that's missing. Like maybe I do think it's kind of latching onto the hypebeast sport of choice right now, and maybe I'm gatekeeping. but I'm still gonna hate a little bit until I end up buying a bunch of Malbon.
Well, I will. What I will hate on is the stuff that feels the most cringe to me is like who is custom ordering the rose gold wedges.
Well, dude, here's the thing though; those are really cool. Like they're cool wedges, but they're cool wedges. But as someone who's in the market for wedges right now, I need one of these exact clubs. There's no shot in hell I'm spending $300 to get this when I know that I could go test out a bunch of different clubs at a place.
Yeah.
Go do that. Like you have to be rich to buy this kind of thing and want to do that because most golf guys would want to get fitted. If they're going to spend $300 on a wedge, they want to get that fitted. They want to make the small detail changes. They want to do that stuff. And so like, I just don't really think that from an equipment standpoint, it's ever going to take off.
Yeah, and I agree. I think the equipment is the lamest stuff here to me.
Yeah,
because it makes the least sense for guys that actually golf.
I do think that this stuff is cool. Like I do think that the Kith TaylorMade equipment is legitimately cool, but I will never buy something that is not going to make me a better golfer just because it looks that good.
Yeah,
like I need to know that it's going to help me because look good, play good does not apply in golf. It might help you a little bit mentally, but like it doesn't. I'd rather spend $150 on a wedge that fits my game than $300 on a really good looking wedge that I can show my boys around the green.
Yep. Okay, moving on. Let's see. We hit golf collabs. We hit the word valid. Next on mine, I can make this one quick. Flavored sparkling water.
I've always been out. I don't understand why people pound 8 sparkling waters a day.
I don't either. I drank some flavored ones for a while. I have come back to just it's been my favorite for a while. I've even posted this on our gram during an AMA, but like regular Rambler, which is a Texas-based one that I think is getting a little bit more distribution right now. But like that's the best. Regular Topo, just regular sparkling water is fine. That we were in like a flavor race with all these companies, and now they all taste like ass.
Yeah, I just don't.
LaCroix was always bad.
I'm an ice water guy through and through. Just give me some ice water. I'm gonna be happy as a clam. I've never needed to have a sparkling water for any reason.
Here's the other nice thing about keeping just a regular sparkling water on hand instead of all these weird flavors. Perfect for making a spritz.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So.
It's devastating to want a little topper of some sparkling stuff, and you go in your fridge, and all you have is like watermelon Spindrift,
yes.
and I'm like, cool.
Exactly.
Like, I think Spindrift tastes good on its own, but like I don't know. What if our grandfathers saw us mixing drinks with watermelon Spindrift?
Yeah, no, they wouldn't like that.
Yeah. Stop drinking normal Aperol spritzes, guys. Stop putting them on your Instagram story like you're doing something. Like we're like 4 summers deep into this. I'm out on Aperol spritzes. Just order a different spritz and be cool.
Any other spritz is okay.
Any other spritz is fine.
No Aperol
spritz. If you're ordering an Aperol spritz, you're no longer doing something. You're doing nothing. You're doing the least amount. I'm sure they taste good. I like them still, but like just mix it up.
Yeah.
If there's other spritzes on the menu, just mix it up a little bit. Don't be the people that are the table full of Aperol spritzes where everyone's looking over being like, God, that basic ass table over there with your Aperol spritzes. That being said, I think I am going to be pretty in on spritzes this summer.
Yeah, you have them on your in list.
Yeah, like I think I'm going to be drinking a lot of spritzes.
Yeah.
I had one last night. I needed just one.
Spritz game's stupid.
Yeah. I think I might just try to pioneer my own sort of spritz.
Now you will not be drinking any spritzes while wearing tech pants, though, as it would appear.
Tech pants are the new bird or all birds. Like, I think they have such a connotation to them at this point that unless you're wearing them on a golf course or to your finance job, that you simply cannot be wearing them.
Yeah.
And this comes from a place of pain. I love some tech material pants in the hot summers of Austin, Texas. I've been wearing Lululemon tech material jean looking pants for years. I can't put them on anymore without thinking that I just am not doing enough. I think it's the internal struggle that I'm having with myself.
Yeah.
But whenever I put them on, I just think of girls on Twitter roasting dudes for wearing the same Lululemon pants all the time.
Yeah.
And I think it's become a thing. And I think we need to put the pause on for a little bit. And if you're a tech material pant boy like me, I think we just need to pause and endure this summer and then come out swinging in next spring where maybe we can make it work again. But there's a lot of use cases for tech material pants. They're breathable. They don't show swamp ass like they do, and that's why we wear them golfing and stuff. But I just think that you're not going to have any aura about you if you're not wearing some other pants.
That's valid. That's
valid, dude. But no, I don't think they've ever been cool, but I think now they signal uncool more than they did before.
Right.
And that's where I'm like, I think we just need to press the pause button for a little bit.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but the Nouveau Health gang out there, the new wave of health experts who have zero training or actual evidence-based stuff, they're saying that polyester is bad. Polyester is bad for you to wear.
How long have people been wearing polyester for?
40 or 50 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing that they're saying that is bad that I have bought into because I like to pick and choose which evidence lacking.
We all do.
Health things that I latch onto. Seed oils, man. Can't be having them. Can't get them out of here.
I'm going to be straight up honest with you. When it comes to the oils in our pantry, I don't know what each of them are for. I don't know why this seed oil is over here. Like, I don't know the avocado oil's difference from this thing.
Well, the avocado oil, that's what you want.
Is that what you want these days?
And olive oil. Yeah, but no, that's I'm only buying Siete chips right now because they're made with avocado oil, not all that palm kernel oil and sunflower oil, which is apparently
Siete chips are fine.
Apparently giving us what's that?
They're fine.
Siete?
Yeah, they're fine.
Have you had their potato chips though? Not the
okay tortilla chips.
The tortilla chips are not very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just get regular tortilla
like
chips.
They're a vehicle for something else, so they don't need to taste amazing. But like, I'm kind of like, if you're gonna get tortilla chips, like
get the good ones.
Yeah, just get the Julios.
I'm with you. I'm with you. No, the Siete potato chips really good, very good.
Okay, I'll try that.
I'm a big fan, and they are made with avocado oil, not seed oils. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just that there's a lot of smoke here around the seed oils and their potential carcinogenic effects.
Okay.
So I'm throwing them out, and I'm pushing for brands to start using more avocado oil and olive oil instead.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I have no issue with that. Like I don't really want to dive into the seed oil game. Yeah. I don't want that to be a thing that I need to worry or stress about or think about. I would appreciate just going with the knowledge that I grew up with, which is just, olive oil's fine.
Right.
And if avocado oil is fine too,
this is way less about cooking. Well,
okay.
What you cook with is almost definitely fine. Although canola oil, but who cooks with canola oil these days, right?
These days, I mostly use olive oil, butter, or we have a spray can of avocado oil that I use for kid stuff.
This is more about processed and food that you're buying at the grocery store and what it's being made with. And by and large, people have been using sunflower and palm oil and these seed oils specifically. Safflower oil. Yep. All of those because they are really cheap and really easy and they are apparent, but there is some thought and some evidence, and I don't understand how much or how little that the seed oil specifically are carcinogenic and can lead to increased rates of cancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
but
seeds.
Again, this is part of this Nouveau Health Wave thing where, toss in Huberman to this too. Like, people are just out there saying shit on Instagram Reels. And
be careful with Huberman. People are going to come at you.
I know. Rory listens to Huberman. I learned from episode 1 of season 2 of Full Swing. So that's a big thing.
With Huberman, I just don't get how he can know so much about so much all the time. That's what it blows my mind. Well, how do you know so much?
The reason why I'm lumping him into this is because I'm pretty sure I came on this podcast at one point and talked about how I was doing the 90 minutes before drinking coffee thing. Already been debunked as total shit, total horse shit.
I just whenever anybody, it could be the smartest person in the world, it could be the dumbest workout bro in the world. Whenever somebody is constantly changing the goalposts of what is healthy and what is not, I start to tune out because whether they're right or whether they're not, whether there's validity to it, whether they're valid.
Is that valid?
I feel as though it becomes a business at that point, and that's when you kind of you shouldn't be making your personal life decisions based off of what has become a business for one person. You don't need your life to be affected by that. And with Huberman, I've listened to things that he's done, and I'm like, okay, great, whatever. But it's such a churn that I almost feel like I don't need to put that the weight of every health decision ever made. I don't need to carry that daily with me.
Yeah,
it's not something I need to deal with. Yeah. It's not healthy mentally.
Well, for the time being, I'm still wearing the sunscreen. So
please keep wearing sunscreen. Yeah, please keep wearing sunscreen as someone who has gotten many things removed from his body. Do you know what I'm also removing from my body? Bruschetta.
Okay.
I'm out. I'm done with it. Why? It was never in. Doesn't need to be in.
No.
But like, I feel like, okay, once it turns into June, you start seeing people traveling overseas. Everyone's going to Italy.
Yeah,
Everyone's having fun.
Right.
People are ordering spritzes again. We're back. We're so back. We've
Yeah.
never been more back is the
Right,
caption.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you try to channel it. You go to your local Italian spot,
Mm-hmm,
order your spritzes, you get some stuff at the table. Maybe you get lucky, you get some olives and potato chips on the table, get a real Italian experience. Bruschetta's never come out and been like the best thing in the world. You get these little pieces of bread, you get this soggy topping that's been sitting in a container in the back for the last however long. It's all drenched in olive oil.
Okay. I don't know who you're going to Italian restaurants with, but I've never been to an Italian restaurant with friends and had somebody order the bruschetta.
These aren't Italian restaurants. These are restaurants that serve pizza.
Okay.
That have bruschetta on the menu for an appetizer.
Okay, but that's even more insane. Why that's my issue with bruschetta is that invariably wherever you are where you're going to order bruschetta, you're probably ordering the exact same thing for your meal, but in a different format. And I know we can do this with chips and salsa and chips and queso, right? Like, yeah, you're just going to order that again for your entree. But Tex-Mex gets a pass, bruschetta does not.
No, it's just to me, it puts out the vibe of we have too much of this in the kitchen. Let's serve it as an appetizer with a bunch of crap on it. Like I feel like it's a really cheap way to overcharge for the stuff on the plate, and it's never like amazing. It's always just like, okay, I just had like a quarter of a sandwich.
Yeah, right.
Like,
right.
and Randy, you seem to perk up a little bit.
I feel like every single time we've gone to Carve, someone in the company has ordered it. I don't know. It's not you. I'm assuming now.
Brett is a big bruschetta guy, and whenever I see it on the menu, I think, oh, Brett would order this.
Here it is. Here we go.
I always wonder why he gravitates toward it so much. But I also think that Brett has a palate that is not a big eater palate. I say big eater with a capital B, a capital E. Like
he doesn't have a foodie palate.
Like he's got a small eater palate. No. I mean like
the size of.
Yeah, like Brett will never go to a steakhouse and order like a giant ribeye.
Okay.
Brett will go to the steakhouse and order like a small fillet and then eat a bunch of sides and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like he'll order something that's not even a steak. He'll get like shrimp or some fish dish or something like that. Like he eats a little more daintily than I would guess, knowing Brett. I'd be like, oh, Brett's probably crushing a steakhouse and ordering all this stuff.
Okay.
But he's more of like he's got a safe stomach when it comes to this kind of stuff. But he grew up pretty pescatarian and stuff, and I think that's affected his diet.
Okay.
But he's always gravitated towards bruschetta, and I just don't think it's a worthy option for appetizers at this point.
Fair enough. The last thing on my out list, Will, is TikTok's chokehold on music. This mostly boils down to the fact that the only hit singles anymore come are derived from trending TikTok songs.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of a shame because I don't remember the last time that I was like, this album was good.
Well, the young kids don't care about albums.
I know.
And it's sad.
But even look, we can have both, right? Like just to reference the most recent big time rap beef, right? Like Drake and Kendrick have both can put out singles that are awesome for your gym playlist that live on albums that are really fun to listen to all the way through.
Yeah.
Right? Like that is something that used to happen. But now it's like this, like I love $1 Million Baby by Tommy Richmond. Is he ever going to have another hit song ever again? Probably not. We're like, it's plummeting us back in to one hit wonders, which maybe makes sense since everybody's obsessed with the 90s and Y2K right now. But like, I don't miss those days where it'd be like, you know, OMC has one song and then goes away forever.
Part of the reason I was so happy when Vampire Weekend's most recent album came out was because it was just a very good standalone album.
Yeah.
Like I think it's 10 songs long, songs 1 through 10, no skips. Very solid album from a band that I really like. And it was the first time in a long time that I sat down and listened to an entire album and was like, damn, good album.
Okay.
Like good album. And like, I don't know, I feel like Taylor Swift, she's got such a chokehold on the listenership of so many things that like people are just listening to her albums nonstop
Right.
and forgetting about other artists for a while.
Well, and not to take shots at the Queen, but like that was that was the equivalent of a photo dump in album form. Like
That was an emotional dump.
not edited at all. Like you could have boiled that down to fewer than
I wish she would have
36 songs.
dude, I did not. I did not enjoy it, and I'm a Swiftie.
So,
I don't want her to play any songs from her most recent album at the Eras tour.
I just the guy from that plays Steve Harrington on Stranger Things. His name will come to me in a minute. Joe Keery.
Mm-hmm.
He has a side project he's got a band called Joe.
Yeah.
DJO.
Yeah.
And I like discovered this song that called the end of beginning. I don't know, 4 months ago or whatever. And was so proud of myself for discovering this through Spotify. I was like, oh, this is that. I was familiar with the band Joe. I knew it was his project. I thought it was a new song that had come out. And I was like, God, this is good. This is good. This is indie music back to its roots. I told Laura about this song. I was puffing up my chest about this discovery. Only to find out like 2 weeks later that this song was from 2022 and had blown up because of a TikTok trend. And I I wanted to break my phone in half.
It's tough.
And so I just I'm happy to get I enjoyed a couple of the songs off the Vampire Weekend album. I'm gonna go listen to that album, dude, thanks to your rec. And obviously I'm a pop music fan, so this is I'm not diving deep on the discography of like artists from the 70s like you will. So I'm just not that.
I was going to say I can remedy this for you all in one foul swoop.
I want to hear from the listeners. Like, give me some good albums that have come out the last few years. Good albums, song 1 through whatever. I want to hear them, any genre. I'm disillusioned with like single culture right now.
What's killing me is like a band that I've talked about numerous times, jazz influenced, Berlioz. They have just been putting out like little EPs, like little teases, little 2-song things, little one hitters here, little things here. And I'm like, just fucking release a long album.
Yeah.
Like I want to listen to this extended for so long. And I've just listened to these little tidbits. It's just driving me crazy.
Any album except don't recommend Kerrang! Bin to me because I gave them a shot because everybody seems to be obsessed and I thought it was kind of garbage.
See, I haven't given them the shot yet.
Yeah,
everyone's so in though.
I thought it was,
and they're local, right?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of.
Okay.
It was not my speed.
Well, why don't you just start listening to like some extended live versions from the late '60s, '70s, and '80s from certain bands that have large live catalogs.
That hobby is far too expensive for me to even dip my toe.
We can just go to archive.net. We can listen to it all for free. There's some good soundboards on there.
I'm going to have to go to the Sphere, and that's just not in the budget.
Yeah, then suddenly you're buying a bunch of T-shirts and you're custom tie-dyeing custom T-shirts, and then you're
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Not yet, not right now.
Man, something just dropped that is so retail therapy, but it's going to have to wait for the next recording because I'm not willing to do it.
What is it?
It has to do with Umbro.
Oh,
they're doing a chainmail jersey.
A
chainmail jersey.
Excuse me?
Chainmail. This is so Randy coded. You need this, Randy.
Speaking of Randy coded, just looking at Barrett's first 2 ins on his list here, just pina coladas and having a hobby.
Randy loves a hobby.
I'm a trailblazer, I guess.
For hobbies, I almost put gardening on here, like for the 5th in and out list alone, just because like I feel I'm just so in right now. I was out there just absolutely drenching my flowers yesterday.
It is white boy summer, Randy. So I mean, have yourself a summer.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah.
No wish list items, no articles of interest.
Yeah, I don't think we have time.
We're too deep.
But I will, shouts to the hot rodent men of Hollywood. Let's just give them a shout because it is happening.
I think so. Our next recording is Tuesday next week.
Yeah.
I think we just release this episode like immediately. Don't do the Sunday release next week because a bunch of stuff I want to talk about next week, I still want to talk about, but I don't want it to be a week and a half old by the time it goes out.
Okay.
I think
next week you're saying we just drop.
I think next week we just drop it like
drop the album, surprise drop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Wagwan Delilah. Have you been listening to Drake?
Yeah. What
his Wagwan Delilah song?
Oh no, I've not heard it.
Okay.
Is this post Kendrick beef?
Well, it's been removed from Spotify already. So I think he got made fun of. All right. We'll see you guys later.